Hello and welcome. My name is Stefan Poschik from CHC, and you're listening to the newest episode of the CHC Expert Interview. Today, I have a super interesting guest, and he is doing so many different things, and he has tremendous track record that I am personally super curious about the next minutes and about the questions I'm going to ask him in the next couple of seconds and minutes. But first of all, first things first. Hello and welcome, Brian Esposito. It's such an honor to have you on my interview. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Stefan. Truly honored to be here. Of course. So, as you mentioned, Brian J. Esposito, I'm the CEO and founder of Esposito Intellectual Enterprises. It is a holding company I've created and developed over the last 20 years of my professional career. It's an honor to say that I'm proudly that it consists of over 100 companies now in my holdings. There's over 200 joint ventures around the world, and proudly operating in over 25 different industries. This continues to grow as I start, acquire, merge, build, or think of new projects or companies to bring into those holdings. And it's consisted of some of the most amazing management that's running these holdings. It's a complete resource and ecosystem of great IP, great technology, products, solutions, and services. All of that led, like I said, with exceptional management. And then those companies and teams are supported with tremendous resources from accounting, legal, compliance, regulatory. And then that's supported by our private and investment banking arms as well as strategic capital partners. So a lot of great people come up with great ideas or great products and services, but they don't know where to go with them or have the resources or tools to support them to bring them to market. What I've developed is this one-stop shop of, again, exceptional talent teams and resources that we go to market with, and we build companies off of them.
That's really awesome, Brian, and so much needed. So let's jump right into this. So you have a quotation in your LinkedIn profile and also on your webpage, what I really love. So basically, time is our most precious commodity. And I so much agree with this quotation. So how are you handling so many different things with your time? How are you doing this?
So I this slogan, this company motto has kind of been with me since I was 8 years old. So I'm the youngest of four siblings, 10 to 13-year age difference. So when I was growing up, I unfortunately lost grandparents at an early age, aunts and uncles, and so I was surrounded by the loss of life that really kicked into my mind as I was growing up and reaching those instrumental years of who you are as a person. That wow, we can not be here in a moment's notice. So because of that, I always try to utilize my time as efficiently as possible. I always try to surround myself with good, decent, supportive people. Uh, Never really got consumed with drama or we all deal with chaos, but I always focused on what can I control? And this is very relevant today. A lot of people, from the minute you wake up in the morning and you check your news feed or you put on the TV, you're just surrounded by chaos and noise and distractions, and that can consume so much of your time. And I don't subscribe to focusing on things that I can't control. This all leads back to how I'm able to, as you mentioned, do a lot of different things and work with a lot of companies. Two things are happening in my mind. My brain works a lot better with more. So the more dots I have to connect, the more opportunities I'm able to create. And again, my brain just fires off of if I meet somebody today, I can think of somebody that I met 10 years ago and I said, I need to connect these people. There's something magic that could happen here. So I'm grateful that I have that ability. And I don't use things like Facebook or Instagram. So if you start to eliminate not focusing on things that are just causing a lot of stress and anxiety and chaos in your life, and don't get consumed with social media where it does take up, look on your phone screen time, look at your laptop screen time, it consumes so much of your available time. Therefore, for me, when you have great teams, really good support and resources behind you, you can get a lot done. And the other thing, it kind of sounds obnoxious, but it's the truth, is I tend to get more done in maybe an hour than some people can get done in a week, a month, or a year. And that's because I know people. When you know decision makers, or you build relationships, or you nurture these relationships, and you want to get something done, a lot of people don't know where to go, so they're spending a lot of their time trying to find those right introductions, trying to find the right path into a company or into a decision maker where they want to make some sort of an agreement happen or some sort of partnership happen. So for me, if I want to try to get something done and connect company A with company B, principal to principal. So it's two decision makers. We get on a call, we jump on a meeting, we sit in a room together, everybody's guns on the table, and we just figure out, is there a play here or is there not? So again, these are things that I have applied to my life. Therefore, 20 plus years of my professional career on why I'm able to get so much done, and an honor to know some great people that help me accomplish these tasks.
That's really, really great. And I love this. So this brings me also right into my next question. So what you are doing with your holding company and with this incredible structure you built for other companies, you are helping so many different companies. You're helping and supporting so many different industries. So a lot of incubators are out there who are focusing, for example, just on tech companies, or just on marketing, or just helping companies with their finances and stuff like that. So how are you doing so many different industries and different companies, but being so successful when most of the people out there are just talking about, you need to stay in your lane, you need to focus on one industry, you need to focus on one vertical?
Yes, that's an amazing question, and I get to ask that quite often. Some people do one thing and one thing great, and God bless you for that. But if a recession or a global pandemic has taught us anything, if the market doesn't need that one thing, a lot of people found themselves in harm's way because they didn't have any other skill sets or experience to try and reinvent themselves. And a lot of people got into uh, selling, PPP, or selling all kinds of different goods and services to try to cater a new market. And these are, I just saw a lot of really talented people during the pandemic that ran great companies that disappeared, that didn't know what to do with themselves. So for me, I was very grateful to have all of these different options when you take the emotion out of what's going on, again, and not focusing on things that you can't control. So you look at, in my case, you look at the holdings that I have, and there's always an opportunity. There's always a market. Now, what's great about what I try to build, these are companies that I don't believe in the unicorn model. And you talked about incubators before. I'm not passive with anything. In my eyes, I want all these companies to succeed. I want them all to share resources, to support each other and grow. And it's an environment where they all understand that there's a way to take a technology or a product that's in one company and connect it with maybe a distribution channel in another company, or connect it with a new joint venture or a new partnership that another company created. So when you start to really peel back what this is, I built this for survival. I built this for my own needs because I have been through the 90s .com crash. I've been through the 2008 crisis, and I've been through a global pandemic. So really, besides maybe an alien invasion, I don't even think that would surprise me. There's nothing that really surprises me. I joke about.
There would be some business opportunities behind me. I believe you
I
are
totally have.
definitely will
I
take
have
them.
options for them. I have options for them. I'm not shocked at all with what's going on or the manipulation. Even this recent, I think, manipulated banking crisis is just another way to enforce control over people, instill fear, and continue to control whatever the main objectives that the powers that be want to accomplish. So in my mind, do whatever you want to do, world. I got my bubble. Here's the great companies I want to work with. Here's the great people I want to invite into my world. And we're going to create value. Again, I mentioned before, I'm not the unicorn guy. Do not call me if you want to build a unicorn. I'm the guy that believes if you want to be in business, you got to generate revenues. And if you want to stay in business, you got to have positive earnings. And if you want to sell your business, it should be properly valued at a multiplier of your earnings. As simple as that. It's public company type of philosophy and concept. I'm not making up anything new. These are sound business practices that I believe apply to any business. Whether you're Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, Web 4, it doesn't matter. You still have to have a product or some kind of offering. It's got to make money if you're a for-profit type of organization. And you need that money, whatever medium that money's in, whether it's fiat, it's crypto, it's security tokens, it's the next latest, greatest craze. That type of money needs to be utilized to grow your company, pay the people that you're working with and are working for you, and more importantly, pay back and support the investment community that may have fueled your company with the capital that it needed to get going and hopefully thriving.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree 100% with this. Um, how does this started for you? So you started with your own company, but how was the transition into these holding companies where you started to build this system for other companies and support this massive support system? How was this transition process, or how does this started for you?
Yeah, it started in the late 90s where I built the first B2B, B2C e-commerce platform for the beauty industry.
Yeah.
So, and the beauty industry is a phenomenal industry. It's recession proof and it's proven to be pandemic proof. So it's an incredible industry and a lot of thriving brands. So in the late 90s, I built this. I taught myself how to code, so great timing, and deployed a great e-commerce platform that serviced and supplied salons, spas, and beauty boutiques around the world, as well as direct to the consumer. I
Mhm.
launched over 1,200 brands. I got to work with some of the top icons and celebrities and actors, actresses, even up to influencers. So reason why I started.
So basically, this platform was already built to support other beauty brands in their distribution channels, right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
So I was the go-to, and this was a lot of hurdles too when you're first of anything. So when to have a brand that typically is sold in stores or salons, not really a direct-to-consumer model, then besides companies like Amway or Mary Kay. But what I built was the new medium to buy and sell beauty supplies or beauty products across the board. So by being that new medium, I was fighting hurdles every day because I was disrupting a traditional distribution model that was already in place for decades, which was okay. It was exciting for me. So then I became a go-to distribution channel for brands, whether it was one product being made in a kitchen or up to some very substantial brands. So I would bring these on and help them restructure their strategy and properly distribute them in a market from traditional through me to our stores to our wholesale salon and spa division and then our e-commerce platform. So long story very long, and I did this wrong for 15 years, which is why I love my model now is I took brands from zero to hero because we had the reach, we had a great platform, we had so much excitement and engagement that a product, again, that was being made by a very talented woman in her kitchen to then being on stores in Sephora and Ulta's or drugstores or department stores around the world. But I was their domino to get them into that trajectory. So what happened was when I would launch these brands, they would get bought out by the Revlons, the L'Oreals, the Estee Lauders, the Procter and Gambles of the world. When that moment happened, I not only lost the brand, but I had no upside to the equity that was given out. So that liquidity event that the owners had because it had an exit, I didn't partake in that. My mind was there's always a new beauty brand coming out. So I had this ant farm type of model that was just moving goods around. And I was happy and grateful to even have that. So I wasn't looking at my model being wrong.
Mhm.
Then one day I said, this is crazy because some of these brands were selling for billions of dollars, and I was part of their initial launch into the market. I said, this is doesn't make any sense to me. I'm making people a ton of money, and then they're getting what I coined as business amnesia,
Yeah.
and they forgot Brian who, my company who. They just completely forgot about me, and I lost the brand. So then I said, okay, we're making brands for bands. I'm gonna launch a band. So foolishly went into the music industry, and one of my favorite industries. But we launched a band. We had some great support. We became a Macy's iHeart Top 20 rising star that year for our band, and I was in the music industry. Then I said, okay, if we're gonna make products for the band, I'm gonna own the band. I'm gonna own the products.
Mhm.
Then I said, well, I'm not gonna go and partner with an apparel company. I'm gonna own the merchandising apparel company. So then built the merchandising apparel company. So now I started to say, okay, I'm building a world that rather than now people inviting me into their world and using me and taking advantage of me and then
Yeah.
having me chase them for crumbs, I'm going to learn this and invite people into my world that I believe are warranted, that are worthy, that have some business ethics, and they want to just do good work. To me, the money is a byproduct of good people doing good work. So through lots of trial and error and getting my ass kicked in every industry that I am in and got in or will get in, I just continued to build companies that would support this ecosystem that was just to really offset. It was just a diversification method and having control over the desired outcome and not having to chase people for empty promises or having to be in this continued hamster wheel of disappointment because humanity can disappoint you. So I know I'm a fair person and I'll always do right by people. So as long as I have my control over my world, I can make sure the distributions are appropriate and what everybody expects.
Mhm. No, I love this. That you and really the highest kudos to you that you had the courage to do this path, because I built 6 companies in my past already. And I know what it takes to set up a company and go into different niches or different verticals and stuff like that. So this is really, really something you can be massively proud of, that you had this courage and you figured all these different things out,
Thank you.
because
I would
that
say it was stupidity.
and
Stupidity and a
a
strong
lot of
stomach.
stubbornness
And a
in my
strong stomach.
experience. In my story, it was a lot of stubbornness involved.
Yes.
You can believe me.
Same here. Well, you and entrepreneurs think much differently. It's unfortunate the household you grow up in or the typical support system that you think you need. You don't
Yeah.
usually get it from the loved ones in your inner circle because not many people think the way that we think. It's very,
Okay.
we're thinking very far down the road. We have this pull in us that just wants to go after and
Yeah.
after something and make our mark on this planet and life. So it also gets tough in the home life too, and wondering why these people that give you birthday cards and say you love you aren't giving you the support or the confidence building that you need, because you got to have that. Otherwise, it's such a lonely experience, and I've lived it. It's extremely lonely. Even though I'm surrounded by a lot of people,
Yeah.
it's just a very lonely experience. So anybody listening that it's an entrepreneur, you're not alone. We all have the same instinct in us and the same levels of loneliness when we're trying to connect with people and give our heart to why we're doing something. And some people just get it and some people just don't. That's simple as that.
That's definitely true. Yeah, it's so funny. Look, I just posted a video about my story because at the moment I'm telling about my 20 plus years story on LinkedIn. What ups and downs and the good, the bad, the ugly stuff I had to overcome in my past. And I literally talked about exactly this. So I thought I was thinking about my first business plans when I was 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I had nobody to talk to about this because nobody in my family was an entrepreneur. And I basically knew nobody in my surroundings who has his own business, or I can talk to him or her. Hey, how is it to set up a business? So I basically was doing really, really crazy, funny, and also stupid things when I built my first business plan.
Yeah.
I didn't launch it, but until I launched my first business when I was 18 years old, I did a lot of interesting things. Let's put it
Leave
there.
it at that. Well, congratulations. That's same mindset as me. I'm a young teenager creating businesses
Yeah,
and going at it alone.
yeah,
But it was
well,
exciting when you have that strength to just be like, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna figure it out.
yeah,
And I've been to hell and back multiple times. So I do. It may be justification, it may be rationalization, but I do believe it's important to get beat up as much as you can and get seasoned, because as an effective leader or CEO, you need to be able to handle anything because you have people that depend on you. You have your own goals and missions and what you want to accomplish, but then you have, again, you have responsibilities. So the more you get bruised, I
yeah,
tend to believe that the harder the journey, the more rewarding the outcome, and you become very effective in not letting anything really rattle you. Because you gotta, when you make decisions, as hard as it may be, you have to be so calm, cool, and collective. You cannot overreact. You can't make a decision based off of your emotions. Sometimes you got to step away, take a walk, because that's part of growth. That's part of your entrepreneurial journey.
yeah.
And that's why I love helping startups. I'm addicted to it because I'm able to give these founders what I needed. And you could probably say the same thing. You know what you needed when you were growing up, and to be able to be on the other side of the table and help them as a potential investor, but also be on their side of the table and be there to be a complete turnkey resource for them, but also allow them to get beat up a little bit, but just not too far because again, a leader needs to have experience.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely love this, Brian. So we could go on and on and on and on, but I want to get to these rapid questions at the end
Sure,
of
go ahead.
our interview that I don't stretch your time too much. So let's get to the final couple of questions. So the first question is, you have so much experience. You did so many great things already in your life. But what are you most proud of so far?
I'm most proud of everybody listening. Don't get offended because I'm whether it's a concept or one or a substantial holdings, they all mean the same to me. They're all equal. They're like a mother and their children. You're all equal, even though a mother always has her favorite. She's lying. So, in my mind, what we've done with our Turncoin company, Rudolph Markroff, the CEO, is the first of its kind 100% gross revenue sharing digital security. So we released a security token into an environment right now where regulation is key. So I believe Bitcoin and a digital asset known as security tokens is the future of investments and secured and safe investments. Turncoin on a monthly basis distributes its revenues that it generates from Virtual Stacks. Virtual Stacks is a company we spent 5 years building. Over 23 million raised in private strategic capital. Company's got no debt, no investment banking, no VC money, and we've created the ability for people to buy virtual trading cards of people. And we have the full support and backing from some icons in sports such as Drew Brees, Super Bowl winner Patrick Mahomes, Von Miller, Cam Jordan, Wendell Carter Jr., sports and business icon David Meltzer, American Idol's Randy Jackson, as well as we just announced Luke Bryan as our global music ambassador. So this is an amazing team. We built something that is prime and perfect for the market. And we released our Turncoin security token on INX, which is a regulated SEC security token and crypto exchange. So with everything that's collapsing and all the banking crises and the issues with crypto and
Mhm.
digital assets in the U.S. and regulated markets, this is one company that we knew how to do this, where the market was going, and we did it correctly. We weathered the storm. Spent a lot of time and money figuring out how to launch a security token and how to properly do it. And we're not losing sleep over potentially being fined or shut down by the SEC. So, very proud of the amazing work, the incredible long hours from this team, and what we've brought to market. So, that would be it.
That's remarkable. That's really remarkable. I know why you are proud of this. Brian, second question, what are you most excited about at the moment? Again, you have so many different things in your life and in your business. What are you most excited about at the moment?
I'm really excited about over the last few years watching people reinvent themselves. So when you have a global pandemic shutdown and you have Web3 and things like crypto and digital assets and things like the metaverse happening, there's an ability now for people to build communities, which was never really been done before in a global way like this, where you can get a product or a project into the market relatively cheap if you're clever, or even maybe no money at all, and build communities through things like Discord, which I hate Discord. So anybody listening that wants to be mad at me, that's a toxic environment. You can just go in there, you can lose all your digital assets. So be very careful in Discord. But on the company side and project side, things like Twitter and Discord and LinkedIn, I love as far as building relationships. You can build a community around a project. You can utilize things like digital wallets and find investors around the world that would support the project and want to be part of the project. So there's so many ways for things to go to market right now and to get support, from community to financial support to distribution of whatever your project is, in a way where it's capable for anybody to really do it now. You just got to do it legally and correctly. You got to make sure what you're offering is either it's a security or not a security. So you got to be very educated on what you're putting into the market and what you're offering. But there's opportunities now for people with this phone to be able to really connect, communicate, and build anything. That's exciting. Now, the catch 22 to that, I'm not excited about this interesting AI movement and where that's going. I saw an ad from Levi's, or a story from Levi, the jean company, saying they're using AI for all of their models going forward for diversification.
Mhm.
But that means they're eliminating humans. So the models that you see in Levi's ad is going to be computer generated AI models for the brand. Now, how is that helping diversification? You're eliminating jobs for human beings, which means the trickle down is, where is that photo shoot being shot at? That means the landlord or the tenant's not making any rental revenues for that studio. That means the makeup artist isn't getting any jobs. That means the hairstylist isn't getting the gig. That means the model isn't getting the gig. So the domino
A
effect of
massive,
what
massive
AI can,
thing behind the scenes, what's going on and happening due to changes like that. Yes.
yeah. But although AI is exceptional as far as how it can help efficiencies and help growth and solve issues, I am concerned about where it's going. Even BuzzFeed's doing AI for articles and journalism. So things that we believe are written by human beings that are going out doing the research, we're getting content now that's not even, we're basing its truth and its value off of an algorithm or off of a computer that's generating this out. So things like that concern the hell out of me. But I'm excited about the other things I talked about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So stay with the excited things and with the
Yes.
really cool things. Brian, I could go on and on and on and on, but as I told you, I really appreciate your time. So thank you so much for these insights and for the journey and all the things you are doing for other companies and this really, really cool supporting system you are offering. So if somebody wants to reach out to you or want to connect with you, and I am sure there will be a lot of people who want to reach out to you,
I hope so.
what's the best way to connect with you and reach out to you?
Thank you, Stefano. So LinkedIn and Twitter is my favorite places to hang out. So it's my full name, Brian J. Esposito. I connect and get back to everybody, as you can attest, my friend. And the corporate website is eie.rocks. So eie.rocks. You can also connect and message me there. And anybody listening, I wish you nothing but continued success and growth. And please find people to help support whatever you're out doing, because you need that support. I think it comes from a place of strength when you ask people for help. So don't be shy. Don't feel like it's an ego knock. It's actually a place of strength if you go and ask for help.
That's really awesome. Yeah, thank you. We're definitely going to post this and that people can connect with you as easy as possible. So again, Brian, thank you so much. And I really appreciated this time. I wrote down a lot of notes. I already learned a bunch of things and I'm going to implement them. And to all of you out there, all the listeners out there, hey, just use what you heard. Just tap into this and watch it and listen to it over and over again, because there were so many golden nuggets in the things Brian just shared with you and with me in the last couple of minutes. So take care of you and do something great. Thank you again and have a great day.